Is no longer part of the-
So let's move up, someone want to make a motion for them to move 3 to 1?
Well, don't we have to do the roll call and all that
Yeah,
stuff
but-
first? We're just,
But yeah, does someone want to,
Fun fact.
Matt, you want to go ahead and do that?
Matt can do it, because I don't know what we're doing.
D3 to 1?
Yes, correct.
Don't we
Okay.
have to do that with the recording?
Yeah, we will.
He's just getting it organized.
Ready?
Organized.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Green Bay Public Arts Commission. Today is Wednesday, June 27th, 2018. It is 8 o'clock a.m. We are in room 6, no, we are in room
310.
310 in City Hall. Do the roll call here. Kent Hutchison, I'm president. Vice Chair Alex Zacharias.
Present?
Alderman Randy Scannell.
Aye.
Matthew Buchanan.
Here.
Tiffany Bowles.
Here.
Okay, great. And then our liaisons, Stacy Minks.
Here.
And Beth Lemke.
Here.
And Lee Clemens is not present. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda.
Yes, okay.
I motion to move D3 to D1.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? I love it.
Floor we were on.
That's okay. Let's see here. Okay, all in favor of the amended agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Very good. Okay, so who was the Navarino? Actually, we switched around the agenda, so we have to talk about something else first.
That's fine.
Sorry. Okay, oh, you can do it both times. Okay, so item number 1 is discuss with
Did you
possible.
grab the minutes?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're correct, Laura. So approve minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from May 23rd?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Very good. Regular business, okay, item number 1, discussion with possible action on approval of the strategic plan for the Green Bay Public Arts Commission. So, I hope we all had some time to look over this item. Laura spent some good time putting this thing together, and it looks really pretty, and it makes a lot of sense. So, I'll open up the floor to some discussion on this.
Thank you, Laura. I came out with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Thank you.
Pretty and sensible, that's just crazy.
Wait, what?
Pretty and sensible, that's just
Yeah.
crazy.
That's me. No, the creation of this kind of came about after talking with the fundraising cabinet. And we realized we don't have a strategic plan, which is kind of crazy. So I tried to lay it out somewhat in this plan and also kind of put down my goals. I guess they're mostly my goals that I had, but if there are other goals that you guys think we should be including or have kind of on the horizon, I'm more than willing to add them on here. This was just kind of my brain dump.
So do you guys know what a strategic plan is and why we make them? Okay.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, I looked through it, and I was kind of looking through as you were creating it also, so I think the vision, the mission encapsulates what was kind of set out for the GBPAC from the get-go. And it makes it a lot more easy to understand from an onlooker's perspective, especially when we're trying to get them to give us some money. So are there any thoughts on how we could supplement it or change it for the better, or?
So this document is fluid, I mean, if we're,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
These are probably honestly very lofty goals, but I say shoot for the stars. Some things that I included that I know we've talked about a little bit, but they're laid out a little more concrete in here as far as creating more opportunities for public interaction. So having kind of art walks developed and having art talks where we can have table discussions about public art issues and maybe what we want to see happen in the community. Just creating more opportunities to get the public actually involved with what we're doing. And then the other point that I've kind of focused on is the preservation of the artwork that we already have. So those are just laid out a little bit more. in here, but otherwise the rest of it is pretty close to what we do. There's a lot more focus on our marketing and promotion, which is gonna be really important for us. And laying this out is helpful for me, so.
I think it was really smart to do this. I really appreciate including preservation. That's something that is easy to forget. Also, the public engagement piece is really important, and I'm glad that's in there. I understand kind of the need to do this as quickly as we did because we've got a fundraising effort to get started and we need this piece. Ideally, a strategic plan is, there's more, I guess, planning. When we put something like this together, there's more strategic planning sessions. Several people are involved. We might get the public involved. So maybe in the future, after we look at updating this in a year or 2 or 3, that'd be something we can spend a little bit more time on. It's a fantastic start.
Having some public folks come in and just, yeah, that's a great idea.
And is that something that has to be documented when we do the art talks in this manner? Official? Is it an official?
Yeah, it'd be like a public meeting with.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
All right.
We'd record it and make it available. Yeah, so we could have a special session potentially down the road. I think, you know, for a start, this is dotting all the i's. This is doing a pretty good job. Liaisons, do you have any suggestions or concerns about the strategic plan?
With the preservation piece, I would just make sure, you know, obviously, I know, was it Professor Marcelo Cruz's class did the database of everything that was there, but that's in private ownership, that's you know, that's not all city-owned. So if you're gonna put preservation in here, yes, it talks about City of Green Bay's public artworks, but is there out of his list, can you pull that portion out? You know what I'm saying? I know preservation is key all around, but like, I'm not in your jurisdiction. My sculptures are not, you know, that's my responsibility. So, but I know they're included on that master list. So I would, in the preservation piece, maybe.
So we don't have any, say, control over public?
I'm counting.
Oh,
Yeah, kind of.
well, okay,
That makes sense that
that's
that's a
for
good
counting,
point.
right, but I'm thinking like a private business.
Yeah,
I don't know that you have statute.
yeah, we wouldn't have jurisdiction, but.
Just like any other, but I mean, if like there was inspection issues with their building or something, we have jurisdiction. If there's something with their art piece, say they're not, it's in disrepair, shall we say?
Is there
We
any
would
city
have
ordinance?
we wouldn't be able to,
I don't know that there's a city ordinance.
If it's
so we maybe need to tweak.
Yeah, that's-
if there's a threat to
Safety.
safety, then we would step in. Not necessarily the Public Arts Commission, but
Inspection.
maybe so.
You know, take county property, for example, that this is still public art for Green Bay and everyone who sees it, but that's not Green
Right.
Bay's property,
Right,
so
right.
that's an interesting perspective. Then, like, can we offer money if it's looking terrible, or, you know, that's an interesting
Or
conversation.
is it preservation for the pieces that are on,
Public
you know,
art,
well,
really.
you know, you're creating the pads and you're encouraging the rotating arts program, isn't maintaining the preservation of those pieces? Or are you also including anything that was grant funded by this commission falls into that preservation piece?
Yeah, that, we need to have
Because
a
it's
conversation
public
about that.
funding.
It's,
Right.
yeah, it's definitely something that needs to be looked in further. I guess from my standpoint, I would rather us fix up public art even if we don't own it. Like if it's on a business somewhere and they're like, well, it looks really bad, so we're gonna paint it over. It's like, I would rather us chip in money for it and preserve it rather than get rid of it.
Or deaccession.
Sure, like we'd have the ability
Yeah.
to
Right.
offer the funds to deaccession something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be 3 strategies, like with the top priority of we dedicate funds to maintaining art that we own. Second priority dedicating funds to art that we've funded in the past that we might not own, but it's still considered
Yeah.
public art. And then that third priority would be dedicating funds to preserving private pieces owned by the county or some other entity.
I think that's
Um,
that's a good idea.
But it's still public art, and we still value it, and we still want to see it preserved or deaccessioned.
I mean, is there any reason that we wouldn't want to help fix something on county or?
Well, there
I
might
think
be
you just
reason-
need to have it has to be there has to be there has to be some sort of formal process
Sure.
where, if one of the sculptures needed, maintenance, how would I as an organization come and apply for that?
Right.
Again, because it's municipal funding, I see, can a private company who could fund
Right.
something, come to this and
Right.
say, we need city funding, and what are the strings attached to that?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We should probably pan that out with legal too.
Because right now, with the rotating arts program, it's applications for newly created art that's specifically going in city locations, and that legal verbiage has been
Mhm.
hammered out, but.
And I guess I don't see the preservation of those pieces since they're only up a year.
The pads potentially.
The pads themselves,
Mm-hmm.
we have, yeah, that's,
It's already worked into the budget.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
as far as artwork.
Yeah.
And I guess that's part of the strategy of
But some of those
that
pieces,
goal is to look at other
Right.
communities' maintenance plans and what they do.
And then there should be some sort of point where we decide where that money would be coming from. Like, for instance, the 9/11 piece, like, that would burn a hole in our budget if we tried to maintain that thing. So, like, what's realistic? Like, maintaining a mural might cost a few $1,000s, but doing something like the 9/11 piece, we would kill us. Like, that would
Sure.
put us under. So, yeah, I guess those are some things to consider for the preservation, though I'm happy we're having that conversation now, so that maybe we can have a special session to discuss that down the road.
Or would it be something we would, per art project, that we would have that discussion?
Yeah, I think maintenance is gonna be something we need to take into consideration for most public pieces, especially the ones that are permanent. So,
I
Yep.
guess my goal, kind of on the budget projection, the dream budget would be to have like $20,000 every year just dedicated to maintenance that could be either put all into one piece for that year, or maybe it's divvied up over a few of them, but kind of having $20,000 every year that we could use kind of on our choice. Like Matt said, kind of having those priority pieces, ours come first, and then da-da-da-da-da.
mhm.
I think that's definitely something though that we could develop as far as what are we gonna cover and what is not really our business to cover.
And that's, these budget projections are based on a $200,000 income? Or, am I reading that
Those
right?
are just my dreams.
Okay. But we
The
we
reason-
potentially could get that.
The reason, the revenue for 2018 is because of WPS. That's why it's so
Oh,
high.
right, okay.
But, I mean, majority of that is leaving already.
Okay.
So, that's why that's so crazy.
Okay. This is really what we have, okay. Cool. Is there any other discussion regarding the strategic plan?
Some comments.
You have some comments, Matt?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, start with, okay, under artistic and programming goals for 2018 through 21, strategies, the top bullet, produce 6 or more public art projects each year with one large-scale project every year. I'm wondering if maybe we want to define what larger-scale project is.
That goes back to my dream budget. I didn't tell you guys about my dream budget. So producing producing 6 or more public art projects every year. That's basically accounting for like our annual grant program. the way the budget is set up, we can produce about 6, if everyone uses the full
Mhm.
grant amount, we can produce about 6 grant projects every year. The larger scale project would be from the DREAM budget, which is having a $20,000 public art project every year, and it's a permanent
Okay.
one that's kind of a call, like, hey, we got $20,000, give
Okay.
us your best ideas.
So-
And that would be our property, that's the DREAM.
So the larger scale project would be a $20,000 project? Okay.
Or like a, like $10,000, kind of $10,000 to $20,000 project, I
Okay.
feel.
Maybe we would just want to include that
Okay.
in here, $10,000 to $20,000, just for.
Maybe 10, 20 plus or something
Yeah.
in case, yeah.
I don't know if we want to get into this one now. Under artistic and program goals continued, 2018 to 21, bullet 3, consider establishing an application fee for artists applying to the annual grant program and rotating art program. Is that something we've been thinking about in the past? Or I think this was the first time I maybe heard about that. And
Oh, okay, the
Trying to find this.
second page of
Yeah.
program goals continued.
under prepare and develop an outline of income strategies, third bullet.
This is something, I talked to Stacy about this a little bit. This wouldn't be a huge amount of income for us, but it's at least a little something extra. And once again, this is with the DREAM budget, where our
Sure.
grants would actually be about 2,000, if not more. So they'd be getting a little bit more, but then the fee that I'm thinking of, it's like $10. It's not a $50 application fee or something like that. So it would be very minimal income, but it's at least a
Mhm.
little something extra.
Okay.
Yeah. So like maybe down the road when we're getting more and more applications coming in, like I would consider, I would say not doing it, implementing that now because we're just having trouble getting some
Right.
Yeah.
applications. But definitely if that picks up, usually it's something that's tacked on to an application fees.
I don't know if I've honestly seen it before for a publicly funded grant program.
That's true, usually it's private.
I think this would be unusual based on all the grants that I've ever applied to through a government agency.
Okay. Well, so would you like to see that stricken from this, or?
That'd be something I'd be open to. I don't know if others feel the same way. And since it's just a consideration, maybe we don't need to mess with it right now.
Mhm.
But generally, I don't support an application fee, especially when it comes to public art.
Public art, yeah, that's by a city entity. Fair enough. Does anybody else have a comment on that, or should we just keep it as written?
Keep it as written now.
Okay.
I mean, we're just considering, I'd
I
like
would
to
say it's
think about it
considering
some.
it's not
Okay.
implemented.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's open
I mean,
for
we charge
discussion.
fees for the city for permits and certain
For
other
permits.
things, and-
Permits, yeah.
and
Do we
this is-
charge for applications anywhere in the city?
I don't think so.
Okay. Any other discussion regarding the strategic plan? Okay, let's move forward. Item number 2, discussion with possible action on the annual,
Approve it.
oh,
We need to approve it.
I think we do need to approve it. So as written with the notes that Laura has taken, can I get a motion to approve the
Motion to
strategic
approve.
plan?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Very good. Thanks, Laura. Item number 2, discussion with possible action on the annual grant program application from Navarino Neighborhood Association. So, we have a representative of the association. Very good. So can I get a motion to open the floor?
Motion to open the floor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Good. So can you please state your name and address, please?
Sure. You want me to stand? Come
Yep, you can stand, that's fine.
Okay. See some familiar faces.
Or you can sit if you'd like.
All right, thank
Join us.
Cost you a nickel.
you. My name is Michael Schwartz. I am a resident at 322 South Van Buren Street. 322, I know how it is to be the note taker. South Van Buren. I'm here on behalf of the Navarino Park Neighborhood Association and Cindy Mills, our board president. Thank you all for considering our application. I live right on the park and I get to see every day kids just stream in and out of our park. And it is, in my opinion, a refuge for them, away from home, a place where they get to be outside and to be active. And we've talked quite a bit with Dan Deitchett and the Parks Department, and we think we have a really great thing going here. So we want to build a giant Adirondack chair to put in between the playground and our reading rocks. I can take very little credit for any of this, but Cindy is in Atlanta, so I'm representing for her. But we, or she, talked to NeighborWorks, and their person is going to build the chair and come up with the plans to city specifications for safety, so the big giant Adirondack chair. And then we're going to, basically just hope that families love it, use it. I know the kids will be all over it and really enjoy it. We talked at our association a lot about graffiti, and if there are sometimes it's the curse words and the nasty drawings and so forth, and so we'll have paint just to paint over that and keep it updated. But I think it could be a lot of things. I think we could do different paintings of it in the future with kids and paint it wild colors and allow them to pick colors and all that. So we've asked for, I think, $1,000 from this commission, which would be half of the project cost. In terms of what we estimate, materials would be $500 alone, and then we've got to get it safe around the chair, with the wood chips and so forth. If kids kind of jump off, which it's amazing what they do at the park. So. I don't know if that's what you were looking for, but that's what I decided to tell you all.
I'm glad you did, because when I first saw it, I said, oh, it just looks like a piece of propaganda. I didn't see any value to it initially, but now that you're telling me that it's going to be a work in progress, with the new paint, they can repaint it, and people, community being involved in it, I appreciate it now. And then, as far as graffiti, if you're an artist, they're called writers, graffiti writers.
Yeah, no, I like graffiti writers.
And that's something, as far as defining what an artist is, we got to be careful about that. If we start putting graffiti, we start putting our opinions on what that art, whether that art is you know what I'm trying to say? If it's negative, but whose viewpoint is that? So
It has to be appropriate for children.
yes,
It's in play.
but just
Other
something
than
to
that,
have in mind.
That's true. Like Bo Thomas, take for example, he does graffiti art, and 1 year you could maybe commission him to tag the entire thing, which would be totally awesome. But I think what you're probably talking about are the tags. There's the blah 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 done stuff.
Well, even
But we don't want to gain stuff.
we'd be
Sure.
the tags is less. It's phallic symbols and it's younger kids
Right.
or weed. It says weed and phallic symbols. We haven't had, in my opinion, a lot of art, but I think there would be possibility to
Yeah.
let kids come and draw, and I think that would be pretty neat.
Yeah, yeah. So I also have a question on materials. Do you know what type of wood you'd be using?
We haven't chosen that completely. It's got to be up to the city specifications because of safety. So soon we'll get the plans from NeighborWorks. We'll make sure that Dan approves it with Tim Dennison with NeighborWorks. I imagine it'll be some sort of composite material that won't
Okay.
splinter.
Okay. Composite, I'm looking at these specifications of the examples, and you have definite 2-inch dimensions for the thicker part. It'd be really, really expensive to do that with composite. I think you might have a few options with wood, which would be treated, which you'd have to paint. And then you could do cedar, which would be a little bit more expensive, but if you go with a local mill, there's a few around that you could get it for a lot cheaper than if you went to like Menards. But I definitely would like to see like what materials you plan on using Cedar is naturally weather resistant, you know, and that would be to your advantage also. And you
Would
can
you
paint
paint
that.
over cedar?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What
I
are
mean,
the options of other material other than wood?
Well, you could do pine. Well, you can do
Wood.
pressure treated pine. You could do
Other than wood?
other than wood.
You know, recycled plastics?
That's what the composite is.
Oh, I see.
But usually that's deck boards, and that's like 5/8.
Gotcha.
And if you do this, you definitely need 2-inch dimensions. You know, 2-inch thickness by probably 8-inch. That's what those boards look like. That would be
Would it need to be that thick though?
if you're gonna make it this big and you want kids standing on it. Yeah,
Oh.
and probably this guy's an adult standing on it, jumping off of it. Like that's gonna happen. So you wouldn't want to make it too flimsy. So the composite's possible, but I think that would, I mean, you're probably looking at like a $2,000 budget just for the materials if you go with composite.
Okay.
Um,
In speaking with Cindy, she talked with Dan and Tim Dennison, and they thought 500 for materials.
Really? Okay.
For the, yes, wood.
Okay. Then I would cycle back and see what type of materials they were talking about. Any other discussion on the content, like of the chair itself, or how this values as public art, or I think it probably would attract a lot of people.
I really like it, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm on the flip side of what's being said there, but I know when we see these in different places, as far as kids go, my kids are climbing all over. We always take the photos. I think you might even, although it'd be mostly for the neighborhood, I think occasionally you get visitors going there, especially if it was really unique looking with the design. I think it's a fun project.
Yeah.
It's not mural-like as much, but I guess it has the possibilities with that giant back, right? So.
I haven't talked much about this with Cindy. If I had my dream, driving home in California, where I'm from, this one person had a huge ball that they would paint for every season, and they'd put up a different art, and I loved it. And so I would be so excited to paint with kids different seasons or different things, you know, the green and gold, the this and that, just different weeks, you know, Pride Week, something like
Sure.
that, and I think that would be neat.
That would be really neat. Yeah, keep it changing, keep it fresh. I think that'd be fantastic. It's not an original piece. It's something we've definitely seen before in other cities, but I think that's okay because it's so photographable. People are going to be taking photos in this, and I think because it's so photographable, it would be good to somehow tie this to Green Bay if we could, just to make it a little bit more localized. The Philadelphia example, they, clearly I see that's in Philadelphia. They have it written on there. That might be nice to do for Green Bay, maybe. Something to consider.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think it's a fun idea, and I support it.
Yeah, I think, you could, as much as I'm not crazy about Packer art all the time, I love it. But I mean, I can see, if we make it to the Super Bowl or whatever, painting it Packer colors and keeping it relevant. I think
Mhm.
if you're committed to that, I think that's cool.
I would say that could be like a call that you send out to the neighborhood as far as like, submit your ideas for what you want to
That's a
see
great
next
idea.
on the chair.
Mhm.
That's a great idea.
It's kind of this evolving piece. Is this something that would be put away in the winter, or is it just gonna be out all year round? I don't know where you would put a
That's a good
giant
question.
chair in the winter.
From what I understand, we would leave it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd want it secured.
Yep.
It wouldn't be something you could move too
Yeah.
easy.
Probably. Yeah, that'd be an interesting question to ask Dan, whether or not you felt like you want it anchored with concrete or something, or you just, no one's gonna pick this thing up and move it around. And it probably doesn't have a big wind load moment on it. I think it's cool, and I think if you use the right materials, I think it would work great. I'd be in favor of it also.
Would you consider putting like a sign next to it as far as if it's changing, like the artists are changing, kind of to showcase like, hey, this is da-da-da's work this time, or?
Yeah, I talked with Cindy about like saying sponsored by, or something like that, and I didn't know if this commission would want that or if NeighborWorks would want that. That's as far as we got though, so I don't know about a changing sign
Yeah, that
You
might
could always
be
paint
kinda
it on there
tough. You
somewhere.
could sign the name, like maybe on that base type thing. Yeah, other questions?
I can't imagine a more interactive art piece.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So, can I get a motion?
motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Very good.
Thank you all so much. I can't wait to show you pictures of our awesome chair.
Yeah.
I wanna go there and get my picture in the awesome chair.
You'll get it, you'll get it. Actually, the commission should come out and do a picture, I think, all of you at some point, and you could say sponsored by, so.
Outside.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll be in contact with you about details.
Okay, great. Thank you all so
Yeah,
much.
thanks, Mike.
Coming. Okay, great. Moving on, we have another annual grant program. Great. Discussion with possible action on the annual grant program application by Botonis. And the floor is still open, and I think we have a representative.
Oh, wait a minute, we had to close the floor to vote.
Oh, did we?
Yeah,
Close it and redo
Do we
it.
want to grab him?
yeah. Well,
No, he's done.
we do, motion to close the floor.
Okay, motion to close.
He doesn't have to be here to close the floor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the floor is closed now.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Very good. Motion carries. Do I have a motion to open the floor now?
I motion to open the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good. The floor is open. Is there anybody who wants to speak in regard to the Bo Thomas mural?
I'm here, representing for Bo Thomas. My name is Heather Gentry. I live at 249 Kenny Street. I'm also the president of the Green Bay Bicycle Collective, where the mural will be painted.
Great.
Yeah.
And we've all seen the picture, right?
Yep.
Okay. Any discussion regarding this mural that's going to be on the Bicycle Collective?
I think it's pretty cool, and I think it's not only a cool piece of art, but it also, you know, really marks to anybody in the neighborhood, oh, where's the bike rack?
Yeah.
That's it. So
Yeah.
it really is
So many-
functional and it's pretty cool looking.
A lot of
Very
people
cool.
have asked me where your collective is, because I've been talking about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, where is it? It's like, will you take that right out? Now, I think if we can get this going, it'd be pretty obvious.
Bo is ready to go. He's ready to get moving on this. And I don't know, we're talking about the grant application? Is that what this
Yeah.
is?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, so my understanding is that it'll be on the side and the back, is that right?
Part of the back, it'll wrap around the corner.
Yeah. So, you have a bunch of bikes out there now, it's kinda hard to point it out, I think this would really help, shed some light on the Bicycle Collective. So,
Is there gonna be any additional signage that,
It's a city building. We're not allowed to put any signs
oh,
on
okay.
the building. No logos, things like that. We can put a sign on the front of the building with the Green Bay Bicycle Collective on it. I think that's the one to advertise.
so that's in the front?
Just
On
on the
that
front, yeah,
street.
yeah, because that's 4th Street. So to identify who we are, we can hang a sign in the front. But as far as this is concerned, there's not going to be any logos or I don't
Right.
believe that he has any words or anything like that.
Heather, what are these squares?
Windows.
Oh, those are windows, okay.
There's 2 windows on it.
Mhm. One in the back, one on
Yeah.
the side, yeah. Okay. And what type of paint would Bo be using? Traditionally, I think he uses spray paint. So we'd want to just know, if we're going to fund this, that it's not just made with like interior acrylic.
No, I'm assuming whatever he's used before is
Okay.
what he's going to be using. So, and I don't know if he puts a coating on over it to protect it
Mhm.
against the weathering.
Mhm.
This isn't his first mural, so.
Yeah, no, he's done a lot. Obviously, he's done that big Green Bay mural that we've all seen. That's still looking great, and it's been up for almost 2 years, I think. This would be east facing, so it'd get more sun than that light, or than the Green Bay one. But any other discussion on the content? What are you guys' thoughts on this?
I do.
I know that the redevelopment authority owns the building, and in the past they have expressed support of doing artwork on the property.
Okay.
So, and, generally I think it's, very colorful, it's interesting. I think it'd be cool if the cityscape in the background could actually be Green Bay's cityscape, if that's possible. That might be nice to do.
Mhm.
Maybe some type of buildings, monuments that people will recognize.
Yeah,
like
that'd be fantastic.
Leo Frigo, maybe. Yeah, that's the one that everyone seems to be
Sure.
using these days.
Yeah.
Courthouse.
Is that similar to the Green Bay painting that he has now? Are
Let's
those
see.
recognizable?
Oh, he does have the Leo Frigo in that one, and he does have a little bit of a cityscape, yeah. But even if it was just,
Mhm.
I think it would make it more relevant too. I think that's not a bad idea.
Sure.
I think it's a great idea. It's a taking a wall that's bland, and turning into something cool. So
Mhm.
I'd be in favor of it.
The idea is while he's working on it, to invite the neighborhood and get some press on it, so people can come and watch him work.
Is he going to get people to help, or is he going to do the whole
He's
thing?
doing this whole thing.
Okay. Cool. The only concern I have would be about the paint, but I'm assuming that he's going to do it right. But could you check on that?
Absolutely.
Cool. And when could he have this done? You said he's ready to go?
He's ready to go as soon as we give him the money.
Okay. And the other
As long
five,
as it's the end of June.
the other 250 would be coming from
Us.
you guys?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Well, there's a potential too, you can put it on T-shirts and,
Sure.
Yeah.
It definitely elevates the space and
It
creates
does.
it more of a destination for you guys
Mhm.
as a bicycle collective.
And I gotta tell you now, as it stands, we're open, pretty limited, but 3 days a week. And every single time those doors are open, neighborhood just flocks.
That's
And I
great.
think it'll really, like you said, elevate it, make it more of a meeting place,
Mhm.
which is kind of cool.
Whose idea was the rainbow?
Bows.
Was it? Oh, that's cool. Cool. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
wait, don't we have to close the floor?
Oh, yeah, motion to close the floor.
I'll second.
Is there anything else that you'd like to mention on this, Heather?
Maybe not directly about this mural, I was just curious because, this other gentleman here was talking about graffiti and things like that. The front of our door is just a white peeling aluminum door, and I would like to paint chalk paint on there, so the neighborhood kids could
Mm.
draw on it. And I realize kids are gonna be kids, so I mean, we'll take down anything that's
Right.
inappropriate, and the neighbors are actually always watching the building for us. I was wondering if there's a process I need to go through, or, because it is a city building, if that's an issue.
So do you have the paint and you just do it?
Right. Right.
And it's
And have
chalk.
and have a it'd be a chalkboard, and then
Yeah,
just have a bucket
I-
of chocolate for the kids.
I don't know, you can maybe talk to the RDA, but I don't know if that's necessary.
I'd just call Kim Urbanski,
Okay.
Yeah.
and just see what he
Your
thinks.
site manager.
Make an improvement on it.
Yeah, and like I said, like the kids, we have a fix-it station out there for when you're not open, and there's people using it, there's people just, hanging out, and it's really a nice little meeting place as it is, so I think this is really gonna bring it together.
I think if you guys haven't been there, you should check it out. There were more things happening there than I was expecting. So, it's cool. Okay, anything else, Heather?
That's it.
Great. Motion to close the floor?
Motion to close the floor.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great.
Motion to
So,
approve.
can you get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Very good. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Okay, moving forward, chairman's report and project updates. I don't have any for today. So, Laura and I talked a little bit about some other things, but I think we'll bring them up. So, I don't have any. Number 2 is coordinators report and project updates.
Basically just update on things. Our pads are all in and they're paid for. So we have 6 locations. One of our artists kind of dropped out
Oh.
due to money issues. But,
Which one?
can I say that, or is that okay?
It's
I think
public record, I mean, it's public record, he was one, I mean.
Is Brian Eichinger. He was asking if he could apply for an annual grant to fund the piece. But I haven't heard anything back from him as far as if he's actually gonna apply or not. I gave him the information, so we'll see. And I'm in the works to set up installation dates with the other artists, so then we'll have an unveiling and stuff. So I gotta find some sheets. And then I didn't know if we had a preference for the locations, or who was gonna be picking the locations. The one that I would like to fill, I know Broadway's having their Ignite Market, July 15th or July 16th?
July
21st.
1st.
Okay, great, that's a little bit farther away. But our Lake Park location is perfect. I would love to have an unveiling that night if we can kind of coordinate. There's gonna be a lot of people in that area, might as well take advantage of it. So I'd like to fill that one for sure. I didn't know if you guys had a preference for, or how we're gonna determine who gets placed where and what.
Dartboard.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking.
So, we'll probably have to bring that up and, well, maybe we could just make that decision or not. We have to bring that up through an agenda item, or can we just, you could probably make that decision, I don't think we can. So, I think the way we were gonna do it before was you were gonna select them,
Okay.
and then, we would say if there's a problem. Yeah. So we do have open locations.
Yes.
So, let's talk to our sculptor friends, and let's get something else. You know, even the painting, I think Gregory Frederick, who's a local painter, he's working with another artist, Jeff Benson, and they're designing like either it's a cross section of two big panels, whereas you're walking around it, the painting kind of changes, or you could just do a triangle piece with flat panels, and that could also showcase a painter. So this isn't only necessarily for sculptors, but we can encourage two-dimensional artists to also apply.
They have to be weather
Mhm.
resistant.
And there's all kinds of stuff that you can get from Home Depot that are weather resistant. And then they can also sell their work. You can take it apart, and then they have 3 paintings that are for sale. So let's see if we can get those other pads filled up, because they're awesome, and we have 3 sculptures going in soon.
That's the rotating art program. Next, Lee told me this week that since he's a big doctor doing important things, he will be unable to make it here anymore. So
Oh.
we're gonna check with the Civic Symphony and see if their new president can step in and be our liaison to represent music.
Cool.
And then just working on fundraising, basically. Trying to get a list together of the big dollar people. And yesterday I went through and looked at a bunch of foundations and grants that we can apply for and hopefully get more money. I haven't heard anything back yet for the grants that we have applied for, but come July through August, the Packer Foundation should be reaching out and making phone interviews with applicants and stuff, so I'll keep you updated on those as I know more. Other than that, that's about it.
With the strategic plan, we were gonna make a couple tweaks, right?
Yep.
Okay, when it's tweaked out, can you send me that? Because I wanna start
Yep.
getting organized
Tweaked
and putting all my things into files and stuff, and,
Yeah. I'll send you all the updates.
yeah, thanks.
And if you notice typos or things like that, let me know. Grammar was not always my strongest suit.
Any other reports, Laura?
No.
Okay, can I get a motion to receive and place on file?
Motion to receive and place on file.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Great, our next meeting is gonna be on Wednesday, July 25th, 8 o'clock, same place.
That location may change. We don't know when it's gonna open, but for now, let's just plan for here, but if things work out, we may be back upstairs in our normal spot.
Oh, really? Okay, yes.
Can I bring up a suggestion, idea?
Sure.
Is there, because I work with youth, is there any way we could start planning like a youth component to what we do? Something like youth sculptors or edutainment where we teach youth how to create the art itself. I think it's important that we try to get our younger generation. If we're thinking long term, then we need to start creating our artists. Just wondering if there's a way that we can even have youth competition of sculptures of some sort. Just something to put in your head.
So you want to engage the youth with public artwork?
I'd like to make an active, an initiative to try to do that.
Sure.
An intentional, make it intentional that.
Yeah, I think, we could-
Like mentors working with young artists, kind of thing.
sure. If you can think of something that's worked other places,
Okay.
with youth and public art, maybe we could work that into the strategic plan. All we'd have to do is make an item for it.
I was gonna say,
Great.
are you thinking more like a continuous program, like every month we have like you said, like an edutainment session, or more like 1 or 2 projects a year, like we have like a kids collaboration jam fest?
All of that.
Okay.
Just all the possibilities of.
So just
of-
creating more of like a kid public art.
See, how do we make Green Bay cool? You know what I mean? We're always
Right.
trying to make it cool. So if our youth can get active, they
Alright.
Probably.
Maybe something
Yes,
that
yes.
the farmers.
But I don't know.
markets or
It's maybe there's something that already exists. I don't want to.
Is there an age requirement for the annual grant program?
No?
Yes, because you have to be 18 to sign a contract.
We changed the contract though that if they're under 18, they just need a parent to sign it,
Oh,
because we
okay,
have that at West
right.
High School and some of those students might not be 18.
Right.
So we did
So
include that
you
they just
can-
need a parent to sign
You
off.
can solicit to schools and to youth organizations to get them involved with that grant program to do a public art piece.
Yeah.
That would be the easiest way to do it.
So maybe, we'll.
And I could be happy even to take it on.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, Alex, maybe for the
And
next
I'll
one.
work with you.
I actually just met with John last week and he gave me a whole tour. I was in your space, I scoped it out. But we're in the talks kind of to begin
Cool.
to see how we can maybe connect up and.
Yeah, we'd have to have something a little bit more formal to put it on for
Right.
an agenda item, but let's do
Yeah,
it.
just an idea I just
Yeah,
want to throw
I
out
think
there.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Very good, thank you.
Like, you've been talking projects,